So what is happening in the real estate market? Is another question everybody's asking these days. Not just Toronto or Vancouver. Prices are going up everywhere in country. Calgary, Winnipeg, everywhere. So what is causing that price rise? In last year, the house price is going up 30%. Are we gonna follow the same trend this year? What is causing this insanity? Is this a supply chain issue or low interest rates? Or is it just the money printing that government did last 2 years? So these are the questions we're gonna ask my brother from another mother, Rick Dillon. So he has joined us today on this show. And let me tell you a little bit about this guy. Spent so many years selling real estate in GTA, almost 16 years, and sold hundreds of homes. And he's gonna give us insights of what's happening in the market so we can make the right decisions. So let's introduce my brother, Rick Dillon. Rick, how are you doing, brother?
Good, I'm good. What's up, everybody? Glad to be here with Mavi, man. You're looking good. You're feeling good. I'm proud of you, man. So anything I can do to help is my pleasure, bro.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, let's start with this way. So why don't you just tell a little bit about your story to people? Yeah. So introduce yourself.
100%, man. So I got in the real estate game in 2005. I started selling real estate. Started off, it wasn't really easy, but I figured it out. Ended up selling a bunch of homes. Started a real estate team. Was real estate coach for a little while, and now I'm starting a new project with eXp Realty, where we're building we're 0.003 in the world in terms of the growth of our organization at eXp. Real estate has changed my life, right? So I went from humble beginnings, and I owe it all to real estate, building that capital through my sales, and really using that capital to reinvest back into real estate. And here we are, man.
It's just simple questions I want to ask because everybody has same thoughts. You know, I'm just a normal guy who wants to buy his first home or just want to invest in real estate. What is happening in the market? Just let's start with the price rise. So what do you have seen in the last 2 years? Where is this thing going? Is it stopping? Or?
It's an interesting market. I think the whole pandemic puts an interesting spin to it.
Yeah.
It adds that variable that makes it more difficult to predict. Whereas before the pandemic, you can figure it out. You know, we don't know what is happening. To be quite honest with you, if I had a crystal ball a couple of years ago, I would have never predicted this boom. I thought people during the pandemic will be holding on to their money. However, it does make sense. So I'll make sense of it. So because of the pandemic, they shut down businesses, as we know.
Yeah.
So, and people were in panic. So during panic, you were supposed to be holding on to money.
Yeah.
So what they did is they decreased interest rates. They're giving away free money.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're printing money.
Yeah.
Just to induce spending so the economy can work. Now, what happened with that is because the interest rates are so low, houses are more affordable.
Yeah, money's cheap.
Money's cheap. It's free money, and because of inflation, the big I we got to talk about is inflation. That's the variable that we should be really focusing on. Inflation, for those of you guys are not following, to put it in layman's terms, like if inflation goes too high, you'd have to take a barrel of cash to buy a chocolate bar. So as you can see, things are getting more expensive, but here's another variable that we got to talk about. Supply chain. You can't buy vehicles, you cannot buy watches. I am driving by some gas stations where gas is running out, food is getting more expensive. So all of this puts a lot of twists and turns of what the real estate market is happening with the real estate market. But if we're gonna dumb all of that down, interest rates and, like you were saying, free money is causing this hike. You mentioned GTA Toronto. Yeah. You also mentioned Vancouver.
Vancouver. I think it's all over the country right
It
now.
is all over the country, but it comes down to supply. Because interest rates are low, there's a huge demand to buy property. And because of inflation, every day your dollar is becoming less valuable.
Yeah. And
right? So you got to put it in assets.
I wanted to add this one, like people are just saying houses are getting expensive every day. Or if there's another perspective to see things, isn't it like your dollar is losing value? So you need more dollars to buy the same house today that it was like less dollars like 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you need less dollars to buy the house. and your dollars weaken now, and then you need more dollars to buy the same house.
Yeah.
Right? And
So like think about it, it's the buying power of money.
yeah.
So let's say you have $1 million saved in your bank account, which you should never have. You should invest that money. You should invest that money.
Yeah.
But because the inflation is going up, that $1 million is not worth $1 million anymore like it was yesterday. Now the biggest, scariest part when it comes to the real estate market and the trends is the part that's even scaring me, to be quite honest, is there is a big gap between interest rates and inflation. That is never a good thing. So when the inflations are high and interest rates are low, it's crazy. Now with Omicron,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do, because they said there was going to be 8 interest rate hikes in the next 2 years, which I liked,
Yeah.
to be quite honest. When inflation is that high, you want interest rates to go a little higher. Now with this Omicron, we're going to see what happens, because if they want to still induce spending, they're going to have to keep interest rates low, and inflation's just going to go higher.
If they go into another lockdown, or if they start printing more money, and then it's gonna bring another increase in prices, and then I don't know if we ever get to normal, and then interest rates start going up, and then where this is gonna.
Well, one of the things that I'm really happy that was implemented in Canada was a stress test. So although interest rates are really low, theoretically, people that are affording these houses are getting qualified, I think, at 5.23%. That's what they're qualifying people with in the stress test. So although they're getting a 2% interest rate, they're getting qualified at a 5.23% or whatever the stress test is. However, there's a lot of loopholes there too, right? There is
Yeah,
loopholes
and
there.
then this thing is getting scarier and scarier for every person who wants to move into the market, right? So
Well, let's make sense of it, okay? So you always want to buy real estate.
yeah,
Okay, now even though all the stuff that we're talking about, at the end of the day, buying real estate is a long play. The true reason why the prices are going up, you're talking about 2 world-class cities. Toronto is a world-class city. It's still really underpriced compared to like London and New York,
yeah.
okay? And where people want to live, we have a target, Canada. It's a great place to live.
Yeah.
If you want to come to Canada, you want to come to 2 places. Unless you know French, you go to Montreal, but you want to come to Ontario, you want to come to British Columbia, right? So because everybody wants to come here, prices are just going to go up.
So just to summarize, guys, we just talking about real estate. We have these questions. So on all other people's behalf, I was just asking Rick like what we should think. And the end of the day, real estate is a long-term plan. So always keep investing. Just find your niche, and then how you want to do a pre-construction, or you want to do a rental properties, right? And any other advice for the new agents, Rick?
New agents that are starting out,
Yeah.
man, I remember back in the day. I have a lot of pieces of advice. Which one do I want to share? I would say to really master one thing. Like when I first started real estate, when I really started catching my groove, I focused on for sale by owners. For sale by owners are people that are trying to sell their house privately. So all I knew was that if I got my sales skills high enough to convince people to sell with me rather than selling on their own, and to convince people they would actually net more money by selling with me rather than netting, thinking that they're going to save commission, if I could convince them of that, that target market is really nice, because it's not like something that is random. You know these people are motivated. The motivation is there. So I really liked for sale by owner. So whether it's online lead gen, whether it's for sale by owners, or if your city allows it expiries, I would really become a master in one thing, because the end game is to get enough people in your referral marketing database. Create enough raving fans so your business is just repeat and referral. But you got to make those referrals on purpose and not by
I
accident.
have learned a lot from you from last year. But guys, like here's the thing. Me and Rick, in our own organization, we're working on something really exciting. I don't want to reveal anything, Rick. If I look back on my days when I started, like I really need the guidance, and then I want to fix that problem for the new agents. Like, what are the ways that like you go through and fix? I think that's like how the business person should be thinking, right?
Or they can just simply call you.
Yeah.
So here's my prediction, okay? I think you're gonna have a breakout year next year. I see you working hard.
Yeah.
And you're implementing everything that we're teaching.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's the formula for success. So by you reaching your potential, you're gonna really allow others to reach their potential, and that's what real leaders do. And I see you becoming one, so good for you.
Thank you, Rick. All right, guys, we're gonna do another one, and then I'm gonna ask Rick to
And another one.
and another
And
one,
another one.
another one, and you're gonna be seeing us a lot more now. So let's wrap it up this topic for today, and thank you so much for everybody who joined us. And then keep educating you guys and about the real estate market, and let's keep growing together, and then together we are strong. So hopefully we don't go into another lockdown. And happy holidays, guys. Guys, I know you're flying to Vancouver, so
Yes, sir. See you guys West Coast. Take care.
all right, guys, thank you so much. Peace out and take care.